Listen to me, listen to me. Don't ever ignore this sound on your BMW GS. And here is why. So many of you with your GS 1200 have probably come across many of these sounds, and many people with a GS won't even be aware that their bike is actually making this sound. And I'm here to help you understand what these sounds mean on your BMW GS. Now, many people overlook these. Many people just think it's a normal sound because, as we know, these are flat boxer engines, okay, horizontal from each other. So therefore they're just, can make any kind of sound and people get used to it. But these sounds you need to be very, very cautious of, because these sounds can lead to catastrophic failure of your engine if not dealt with quickly and efficiently. Now, the first one you'll notice is if you start your bike up on your BMW GS, you'll hear like a clattering sound. It sounds like, how can I put it? Like marbles in a tin, or like someone's shaking something. That will be, if many of you guys don't know, the cam chain tensioners on these. And it's usually prominent on the right side one, on the bank, not so much on the left side. And that's because the way the kickstand, when you put it down, all the oil seems to go here. And it seems to drain out of the hydraulic tensioner on the right side. Now, what that ends up doing is causing your bike, when you first start it from cold, you'll hear a loud rattle and it sounds completely very loud. You can hear that the chain is basically slapping. That's because BMWs on the cam chain tensioners, they're hydraulic, so they fill up with oil. And over time they can bleed down, which causes that tensioner to weaken, because if it ain't got oil in the chain tensioner, it ain't keeping it solid. So what ends up happening, it makes it weak, so it can compress constantly, which then means the chain can just sit there flapping about on the cams. Now, if left and not dealt with and addressed quickly, that can destroy your cams. You can also end up with jumped timing. You can also end up with the piston smashing into the valves, because obviously the timing is going to jump, because what ends up happening is the chain becomes loose. It's not tight against the cams, not keeping the cams together, which then means it can actually damage your engine. Now, them tensioners are prominent and known to go out on the GSs, and you'll know if your cam tensioner is on its way out because of the noise it will make upon startup. It is very, very loud, and you hear it and then it shuts up once oil pressure is built up. Now, most of the S1000, RRs, XRs, the Rs all had that issue, and they've addressed it with a stronger, manually adjustable cam chain tensioner. Now, the GSs ain't known for that on the 2018s, but I knew they were beforehand. And if you do have that sound, I would strongly recommend to upgrade your cam chain tensioner to a manual one, so you can fully adjust it yourself anytime you need to, because that is the biggest reason why many people's engines end up going bang on the BMWs, because a lot of people don't check that. They just think it's normal, and because it shuts up after it builds up oil pressure, that's why people don't address it quick enough. But the moment you hear that, it means that cam chain tensioner is bad and needs to be replaced. So I'd strongly recommend to replace that. Now, another one on the GSs which was reported was to do with when you're riding at 30 to 50 miles an hour, there was a problem with, for instance, when you're revving and letting the clutch out, or the clutch pulled in, there is like a rumbling sound or grinding sound coming through your foot pegs. And it's a very, very irritating vibration coming through the foot pegs. And it can really, really cause people to not like these GSs. That's why a lot of people end up getting rid of them, because they don't know what the issue is. Now, if you have got that when you're sitting on a bike and you're just cruising at 30, 50 miles an hour, and you're trying to pull the clutch in, the sound don't go, you let the clutch out, the sound's still there even when you're revving, that will be your internal shaft bearings. Now, when they go out, they are going to cause rumbling, because obviously it's bearings. The bearings break down, and all that rumbling is going to travel straight through the bottom of the frame, through the foot pegs, which is to be expected, because the internal shaft bearings actually sit exactly where the clutch is. So you will need to tear this whole bike down, get to the clutch to be able to do the internal shaft bearings. And that's not an easy job. That's not like a 5-minute job. Obviously, it's a big job. So if you do have that problem, you're going to end up having to either repair it yourself, get someone to repair it, or sell the bike to someone that can repair it. Most of the time, that don't happen. That's usually from abuse and neglect, when people just literally hammering them, hammering the crap out of them, popping wheelies, throwing the clutch out, just treating it like absolute crap, which, let's face it, probably 10% of people do that. It's not very common on the GSs, but you do get them. You do get them. If we look in other countries, there's a lot of people riding these bikes like crap, and they're the kind of people that will end up with that issue with the internal shaft bearings going out and causing that kind of thing. I dread to think the kind of way bikes they're riding around them countries with all these kind of issues because of the things they do with them. But like I said, that isn't too common here in the UK, but that is another noise you need to be aware of. Like I said, that vibrating coming through the foot pegs is very, very noticeable, and you cannot miss it. If you get a vibration, you know where it's coming from. It will be coming from your gearbox. The next one on these is a squeaking sound. Now, squeaking sounds can vary from tires to, you know, suspension. I mean, many people think that the suspension squeaks, but BMW should not squeak, okay? This isn't your Honda, this isn't your Yamaha, this is a BMW. It should not be squeaking. If it's squeaking, you have a problem, okay? And I always tell people this even with cars. These BMW make sure there is no squeaks. They have a very fine quality control process they go through when they leave the factory to make sure there is none of that and won't be none of that. Trust me on that, okay? Even with the cars. If you've got a squeaking sound coming from your GS, it is not your suspension, it's not your tires, it's not your brakes, it is this, the final drive unit down here. The splines can dry out, which start causing a squeaking sound. And obviously, over time, if they dry out, they'll start learning to squeak because obviously the splines are all dried up, which causes them to squeak anyway. If you hear any squeaking, straight away, you really, really should get that spline out and re-grease it immediately, re-grease everywhere, because if you don't, that is where the problem is going to lay, and you're going to end up damaging your spline and your final drive on your GS if not properly checked. And now a lot of people just neglect them and forget it because they hear this, you don't need to do no maintenance like a chain. They just leave it and just keep riding it without checking the splines. You really, really have to check the splines and also change the oil. Like I've always said, on these later GSs, you've got a condensation drain bolt to allow condensation to drain out when you renew the fluid. A lot of people don't know that. Some people are aware of it, but a lot of people ain't. You need to let the condensation drain out, and I strongly recommend to replace the oil in your final drive at least every 5,000 miles, and obviously redo the spline and re-grease all that area at least every 10,000 miles, just to preserve the life of the final drive, and obviously to make sure you don't get no squeaking or no hiccups, or for instance, no seizures on the final drive system, because if that ends up happening, well then, goodbye. And that is another reason why a lot of the time the internal shaft bearings on the gearbox go from the final drive running too dry, because as if many of you guys don't know, if there's no grease on the splines, it's not able to turn freely. Okay, it's not actually helping it lubricate, because you know anything lubricated helps it move smoothly. When it dries up and it's catching this, that, the other, it's catching on the teeth of the spline, which then the final drive is connected to the gearbox. Now, if it dries up and it's having to work harder, the final drive is having to turn that wheel a lot harder while it's dried up, then of course it's going to cause your internal shaft bearings to fail. It's just common sense because they're all connected one to the other. So if your final drive's going out, you can see it's then connected onto the gearbox, which then is connected onto the gearbox, which then causes that, you know, which causes the internal shaft bearings to go out, and a lot of people ain't aware of it. And then only do they know that's happening when they need to replace the internal shaft bearings in the gearbox, that they take the final drive off to find out that their splines are all dry. And that's very common across a lot of the forums as well, that people end up finding that out as well. The next one on these is obviously the clunky gearbox. Now, clunky gearbox on them, that's always been a BMW thing. Cannot be rectified. You know, it's the same thing on the GS1200, same thing on the GS1250, same thing on the S1000 RRs. Finding neutral's always been a problem. That's another common problem. But like I said, if you hear any whining come from the gearbox, like I say, just be aware that it can end up being your gears on them. They can actually get mashed up, especially if been redlined and hammered around. The gears on them can be catastrophic, and I've known that from S1000 RRs where the gearboxes have had to been rebuilt from people literally redlining the crap out of them in each gear and blowing the gearboxes up. So just be aware of that, or fitting aftermarket blippers to them, which is another thing. People put aftermarket blippers which they weren't meant to have, which caused the gearbox to go bang. Is one of the reasons why in the ZZR world as well, is why we say do not fit a quick shifter to the ZZRs. They do not like it and they'll destroy the whole gearbox, and which they do. Many people have learned the hard way about that. That's why I'm telling you, if you hear any kind of noises on these bikes, make sure to check it out immediately. Another common problem on these, which is very, very common, and this comes from a lot of the time neglect, where people don't clean the bikes, don't lubricate the cables, don't do anything they're meant to on a bike, especially when it's used in very, very hot countries, is you'll go to twist the throttle, and you'll hear this buzzing sound constantly or a squealing sound. And that is actually coming from your exhaust valve on your exhaust. Now, I know people are going to say to remove that, get rid of it, put a new exhaust on. But to be honest, I actually prefer the exhaust valve, because I don't want to ride around with a loud exhaust constantly and something that's constantly just roaring. I don't like that. I like my silence. And when I want to open it up, then the valve opens. A lot of people have no idea about that, but even on cars they fitted it. You know, I know it's been on bikes for many, many years, but cars have been having it, and even then people remove it out of that, and I tell them why. They don't realize how much power they actually lose from removing that exhaust valve. They actually lose power because that valve is actually helping create more back pressure. It gives you more torque, more linear torque. By removing that, you're losing torque. It doesn't make sense, and that's why it opens up once you reach the peak of torque, and you just open up and allow it to just flow. But that exhaust valve is actually allowing you to create more torque from the extra back pressure, but people don't understand that. People will take it out, they get a problem with it, and just decide to bin it, as many people do. Instead of replacing it, fixing things, people just take it away, bin it and replace it. That is a common problem on these. And like I said, if you are getting any kind of sounds coming from it when you're twisting the throttle, or you feel it kind of sluggish or jerking, that is gonna be your exhaust valve, the servo motor, which is the flap on your exhaust. You can see it. I would strongly recommend to always undo the casing. It's a plastic casing on it with 2 Allen key bolts, and just lubricate the cables, you know, spray some, I don't know, GT85, WD-40, or grease it, whatever you want to do, lubricate it to get it moving, so then that way it never ends up seizing, because that valve is very, very important, and that's what helps create your torque. Without it, go remove it and you're going to see your torque's going to be massively affected. And I know that because, like I said, my wife's got her Africa Twin without the exhaust valve, and I've got it with the exhaust valve, and mine is a lot quicker because someone's decided to remove that to put sport exhaust on it, and it sounds horrendous. It's too loud, the torque isn't there straight away, it's all snatchy, hence why they need to be remapped after, because of that reason. When you remove the exhaust valve, they're mapped for having that exhaust valve. And the same on this, if you take this off, you will have to have your GS remapped as well, because you guys will notice as well, you remove the exhaust valve and put another exhaust on it, the power is going to feel very different. It's going to feel like it's off, choppy, cutting, just everything, because that valve isn't there. Because BMW, everybody maps these for having that exhaust valve in place to give you the best amount of torque and the smoothest amount of power, and also to not have that complete drone noise, because who the hell wants that drone noise constantly from an exhaust? I don't. I really don't. So just make sure to check that. And like I said, don't get rid of your exhaust valve, because now you know that exhaust valve is actually there for a reason, which many people seem to think it's there for no reason. It's actually there for a good reason. So I hope this video is going to help many of you guys understand what sound it is that's coming from your GS 1200 if you do have one, or you've got any sounds. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.